Ho! Welcome back. We are stepping in to move to earn. Let's do a deep dive. On the crypto, you can make money just by moving. Welcome back to the channel where we build financial power. My name is Matt, and on the other end of this screen, exploding with ideas, is.
It's Potter.
We appreciate you sliding by. Every Thursday, Friday, we put out a show. We're talking about this wonderful, trippy world of DeFi that's leading us down a yellow brick road that Dr. Seuss couldn't have written. So today we're talking about, and we delved into the concept of it last week, and actually the week before. It has me absolutely intrigued. It is the concept of a crypto DeFi space right now. Move to earn. And basically, the more you move, the more you can make. We did a little bit of homework. We want to talk about some of the specifics. Potter has more of the technical analysis side. I'm more of your average Joe that likes doing this type of stuff. So, Potter, I guess before we dive all the way in, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, and, just as a reminder, we are documenting our journey and we're sharing it with you, but this is not financial advice. If anything, we tell people not to get into crypto.
That is correct.
So, because it's too risky right now. But it's not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes, and you should seek out a financial advisor.
100,000%, absolutely. You see well, I won't speak for you. I see a financial advisor. My wife and I have for years, and it's like, it's changed our lives without a doubt. I was about to ask you, but I was like, I probably shouldn't put her on blast like that.
No, I designed the first International Association of Financial Planners website. I designed the first one. It was in USA Today.
I did not know that. We're learning so much about one another as this time's gone on.
It was so bougie. Like on one page, it was football season. I aligned some of the images like a goalpost. They're like, why does this look like a goalpost? I'm like, you noticed, huh? So, yeah.
Well, let's dive into that concept of the first project to the space of move to earn. You might see it labeled as M2E or MTE, move to earn. STEPN is the first to make it to the space. Basically, it operates on an NFT system where you buy these NFTs that are sneakers. You can upgrade these sneakers. You can change out the laces. You can, you basically look at it as an avatar, and just like in a video game where you'd power them up and all that, it's going to give you more of a benefit. And some people are spending a lot of money on this, like looking into it, tens of thousands of dollars. I think I read even one sold for about $100,000. It's pretty crazy. The more you spend, it seems ultimately the more you can make. And it seems there is a daily cap of what you can make, but then you can upgrade the NFT, the sneaker. And it's just super, super interesting. I'm from the fitness space. I run a fitness company, and it's piqued my interest so much. And it's such a melting of the worlds for Potter and I, where she understands this space. Because in my head, I was like, how in the world can a project pay somebody to earn? You're good. How can a project pay somebody to move? Like, how is that even sustainable? Because I'm just on this side of the fitness and whatnot. Potter understands that technical analysis. She understands, why it works. And, I'm from a, this isn't self-detrimental. It's just, I'm from a space of, you go to work, you get paid. So in this world of you do things and you get paid for it, I was like, why, Potter? And from what you explained, correct me if I'm wrong, basically these companies like STEPN, because they're able to collect data about you, they're collecting data. That is one way that they're able to, I guess, make money and then to reward the user. Is that anywhere in the realm correct?
Yeah, it's huge. Like, think about, in the early days of the internet, and even now, but a lot more in the early days, you things just to get paid, right? You can click on advertisements that gives or answer surveys. And using that technology and understanding how kids on the east of the Mississippi, using that reference because we were talking about the Mississippi, east of the Mississippi, step in my a client's shoes, or how long before they replace their shoestrings that allow me to do a level of quality assurance that I couldn't get, companies will pay for that data.
Okay.
So immediately,
So crazy.
what you have is people saying, well, let's take it to the next level. Let's give it to, kids. Let me start saying, hey, I want to invest in you as my future client by giving back. Like, I'll give you this cool shoe, right? And you're going to give me back data, but I'm actually going to pay you in a way, but I'm always going to upgrade the shoe. So you're going to want to get the newest to get the best return. Like, we have a new token out.
Yep.
If you have the first version of the shoe, you can get, our X token. If you buy these laces, this will be the staking. You can get extra staking from the laces, as well as if you upgrade, and then maybe a gym can say, if you use, our laces, we'll give you 2% discount on your club membership. And we'll know that you're wearing them because they register with our medical devices.
That's so like that's so crazy.
It all it just all fits together. There's nonstop in this space with NFTs and what people are doing with them and the gamification of them. Can you imagine a game where you had on these sneakers and they have the little pad that you can run on, right? And that amplifies not only your staking profit, right, but the amount of data that's able to be collected in the device, because that's a hardware device. What if that's in a hospital? Right? There's just this technology that people are going, oh, that's cheap. They're going to monitor where you walk. They already know where you walk. You're walking with a cell phone that's like registering to a tower like every few seconds, right? There's no valuable data out of that. But there's a lot of market research that they pay millions of dollars to have a few dozen people come in and test things and then make assumptions about rolling it out as a mass product for the world.
That makes sense.
Now they can literally have their data almost in real time.
See, and that makes complete sense. I remember explaining to my parents who were in their 70s. I was like, hey, I started YouTube, and I'm making money from that. Their heads were absolutely blown. Who the hell's paying you? Like, what? Like, they didn't even understand the concept that, whoever's advertising, that I'm making, some money off that advertising. So you extrapolate that, and it feels like this is the direction we're talking about, of getting paid for that. So reading up on this, what I learned was the concept of move to earn, and specifically STEPN. This really took off around 2015 from the Pokemon Go start. That was, from what I understand, because I'm not a gamer, I don't have that history. Potter has that. A good friend of mine, Holden, actually a mutual friend of ours, I remember the first time he was like, oh, I'm doing Pokemon Go. Like, we used to live
I
close.
Never got into it.
I didn't either, but I saw him doing it and whatnot, and I was like, that's such an interesting concept.
It is
from a fitness standpoint and all that, but I was like, it's so strange to me because I'm not a gamer. But then, like, seeing it come back in this form and, like, the fitness realm specifically, and then getting paid is just absolutely unbelievable. And how they are gamifying it, like you said, and it's because I don't know, and I'm not a gamer, basing this off. Can you think of anything? We've talked about Farmville being a big contributor to how this might have popped up, but Pokemon Go specifically in 2015, because you're a gamer, have you seen anything in the past where it's like, I feel like that had some contribution, maybe AI or whatever?
Yeah. If you Dance Revolution.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Really?
Think about it. Like, what are you doing? Like,
okay, the physical piece. That's a good point. That's
it's registering things, and people have taken that to say, hey, if you're doing Dance Revolution, you can connect with your Bluetooth device and find out your heart rate.
That's a good point. That
right. And then people are realizing, okay, well, if they're pressing down on their foot and on the screen it says points, that's interesting. Oh, now there's this new technology born, crypto. Oh, so if they step on this, I can tie it to maybe some level of crypto, right? It's evolving, but I think it's a very smart way, because I was like 26. No, I wasn't 26. I was like 18. And I was working with somebody who was 26. He called it the perfect age. And it was a consumer opinion center. Like I was the people who stopped you in the middle of the mall to get your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned so much from that. But one of the things I learned the most was how much big companies pay to ask a few hundred people questions.
Crazy.
Right. And the questions were like, really? And they would pay them, and they would do this across the nation. Mm. Now they don't even really have to pay them. They can give them a crap coin, or shite coin. And make those shite coins into something. Like really, if you go into any game right now, let's just call your game Monopoly, and you have $100 million inside of Monopoly, does it translate out of that game? It does not. Right. And now what people are starting to do is they're starting to say, why only make your game show on TV where only those people on TV can play? How about everybody play? And that's being moved into those shoes.
Interesting.
Right? Why do people who are just in experiments get access to this? Right? Why can't everybody? And we're seeing it. It's really going to evolve quickly because there's a lot of money there.
Well, and to give you some specifics, so let's talk about the actual dollars per day that is possible. And from what I was reading, depending on the NFT that you buy, obviously the more valuable the NFT, the more you pay, the more you're going to make. But some reports have emerged that players have racked up $400 in a day. Most start out at about earning around $5. And I mean, that's unbelievable. That's I mean, $5-10, that's incredible. But you talk about the ability of racking up $400 just once ever is absolutely remarkable. And what's interesting is, and I think, Potter, you can attest to this, and if you are a gamer, to me, it's foreign, but they talk about with this NFT, how you have to obtain more energy, and then like you can build its defense from attacks and all that. And when I was reading that, I was like, that is so like gamification, things that I don't really understand, but I know that that's that world. And it's just so interesting how they implement almost a life of its own, if that makes sense. It feels very Farmville, or what was that game? The Sims, how you had to keep up with things. And that's
literally what it is. And people are okay with that. And you want to know the long-term benefit, which was we saw with Pokemon Go. I got freaked out because I used to, I was a consultant. I was driving all over the country, sometimes the world. And I started seeing kids outside. I'm like, why are kids outside all of a sudden? And they were playing Pokemon Go.
Okay.
I guarantee that if you put statistics together, you will see that kids probably reported a lot less health issues when it came to lungs, in the areas that had a higher concentration of Pokemon Go people.
That makes sense.
So on top of paying you $400, I'm also reducing the healthcare system for the country, right? Because you're not going to be taking from it, because you're going to actually be a healthy person. So I can also guarantee you, if I'm paying you $400, I probably made 500% more.
Wow.
Right? Because there's no way as a corporation that I'm paying you that much money. And these people seem to have more of a corporate stance, if you will, right? They're gonna appeal to more of that. But I believe that you're gonna see this in Nike. You're gonna see this in Adidas. I think that you're gonna see that in everything. I always wanted to say Adidas online.
I was just sitting here. I was like, Nike and Adidas, right? That's what we're talking about.
No, it's Adidas. That is the way you pronounce it. Do you understand? That's the way it's pronounced, not your American Adidas.
So Potter and I were talking about this last week, and we were doing a little bit of a deep dive on this project. And I was telling her, I was like, I think it makes sense for you to dive into the technical analysis side. And I was like, I don't even really know what to say. Potter, I want to know about the whatever technical analysis, because I just, I'm so limited in the understanding of the technical analysis. Is there anything that you can speak to of the technical analysis, the contract itself? Or
well, we really have. Like, I was able to integrate it. When I used to do corporate assessments for security, I'd say, okay, we're done. And people would say, don't you want to ask about, such and such? I was like, I already did. Right. I include it in kind of a conversation, but just in case other people missed it, it is the technical analysis is the components that are making up the bulk of the interactions between smart contracts and the blockchain are similar to a dApp.
Okay.
The only difference is they're on a chip, or it's already predetermined in some mechanism. But because the technology is not all open source to the point where I can understand each different angle, I can only tell you that it's using a known architecture, and it's planning on running in the manner that's documented in their wiki. Like their wiki was very plain-ish. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Some people don't even have a wiki. I liked that they had what they called that their white paper, their wiki.
Really?
And they had a light paper as well. It wasn't like as detailed, so I could understand it a little bit of a higher level, but it was just so grandiose,
Really?
It was so big. But it
Interesting.
wouldn't be if that was my project,
Right.
There's nothing but upside, in my opinion, for these guys.
Really?
They're innovating.
Do you think that you think they were attempting to be cryptic with it? Do you think they were like, I mean, and this is only no, and I mean that's only.
Yeah, it's just developers, right? When you're developing something and somebody says, "Go write it down," you're like, "Oh man." So there are literally people in technology called tech writers who are worth their weight in gold. You can consider tech writers the same as in a CPA, right? They're just because you want people like me to explain in writing. I don't know. So their white paper is in alignment with where they are.
Okay.
It's not a detrimental thing. I like it that it's all broken down. And if I really wanted to go into it, I think I could do a far deeper dive than I did, but it was a lot.
Okay. Well, and so to bring a little context, one thing that I did see, STEPN, they have actually been working with the company ASICS, which is a gigantic shoe. If you don't know, that's a gigantic shoe company. I wore them when I wrestled in high school. They were the go-to shoe for wrestling. Major sports brands have recently been added to it. And it's just Alchemy Pay. That was something else, which apparently is a crypto finance payment developer. Obviously, I don't know.
Everything I saw, Matt, was in alignment with these guys. They've got not only the technical side done, but they got that business aspect running on this.
Mainstream.
Something that is, they've even got manufacturing.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like they've got that out there. Wow. So now we do have to now go macro and say, all right, then if you're producing shoes, then you have to fall in with the rest of the economic picture, which means supply chain problems. Right. So now you have to say, okay, how big are they going to grow? But I don't look at, if I was them, I would just patent everything.
Right.
Patent and license.
Yeah.
Because I could see that the amount of a wallet you're going to need is going to be huge. And I know that I would be tied to the technology and want it, but I would want somebody to come in and buy me out.
Well, and actually,
it's just so big.
I cut you off. Go ahead. No, my bad. I cut you off.
No, it's okay.
So actually, speaking of the wallet, I did see that they operate on Solana, which
that's
right.
No, I saw something else.
Okay.
Solana, BNB, and Ethereum.
So they operate on 3.
Yeah.
3. They operate on 3.
They have weird names for them too.
Okay.
That was in the white paper.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, they got a BNB one? Yeah.
Why operate, for someone that doesn't know, including myself, why operate on more than one blockchain? Why not just operate on one blockchain?
To say, hey, this blockchain got hacked. Well, your product's screwed. Right? Now you can be on multiple blockchains, and then there's going to be side chains of blockchains so that you don't lose everything because Solana went offline.
So from a security standpoint, and then do you think maybe easier access? Like if I'm already on Solana, and I only had whatever other crypto, like, oh well, crap, I got to exchange it. It's just one less step for them to get involved.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, because if their implementation sucks,
Right.
it might have been easier to just tell them, just go to Solana.
Yeah.
Do not try the other one.
Okay.
Like BitTorrent token.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're on the Tron network, and the Tron network is so hard to understand. You have to have not only gas fees, but some level of energy costs, because it helps stop people from constantly hitting the blockchain. I just want to put on my sneakers and get some dollars, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to know about a wallet. So to your point, if you're saying, well, I'm only on Binance, I only have a Binance wallet. Well, you said that little squishy thing to pump up your shoes.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
going to be doing that for a menu on their watch.
Interesting. That makes a lot of sense. And so let's transition here a little bit, talking to what we were talking about earlier before we hopped on the show, because it ties in. We're not 100% sure what it's going to be, but we want to mention it now because it's heavy on our heads, that maybe some things will shift, maybe it'll continue exactly as it is, but we sort of want to mention our long-term vision of what this is. And ultimately, it is this concept of, well, what am I talking about? This was your original thought.
No, go ahead. I like what you're saying.
We want to improve healthcare overall, and we believe there is this path that we're both walking. We have synchronistically aligned, and this concept of hotel hospitals, of wellness centers, of using the best of both worlds of healthcare and fitness and wellness, and then DeFi, crypto, this AI, all of this ties in to ultimately benefit and make a better world of healthcare. So that's why we're here. We are here for that financial power aspect, because we understand that, with that financial power comes a different kind of power and reach and ability to affect humans. But we wanted to say it. We wanted to verbalize it today and get it out there, that that's what our long-term vision is beyond that financial power. If that makes any sense to you, if that rings a bell, drop a comment and let us know what you think about it. And if not, it's all good. Let us know how much you think we suck, because we're going to keep going regardless. Before we jump out of here, you got anything in closing?
Yeah, in alignment with what you're saying, like, you hear a lot of people, Luna, Binance, Ethereum, they just popped out of nowhere. But if you go back and you look, you can at least see where the Ethereum founder got their money. By showing you guys where we started and where we're going to go, we can show you that we started almost with nothing. We're definitely small players, even in the crypto world.
Yeah.
But what we're going to build, it's going to matter to the world and for people that we'll never meet, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what building a financial power, building your dreams to be not just the better you, but the best you, in alignment with what something with Matt says, making yourself better today. What is it? Every day.
Better than yesterday, every day.
Yeah. Like that's just what you have to do. And we're trying to show with our actions that we're proceeding down that path. And that was a key component, because the healthcare, you can't understand healthcare unless you're in it. And I'm a technology person. He's, this is his job. He's actually a nurse. So we know that we have to partner. We know that we have a lot more to learn, but, we're meeting today before the show, and we're like going, what's our mission? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Right? Do we want to call it? Like, we like coal, but where are we going? And then we realized all the synchronistic things that are happening around us, and that the initial envoy into this was simply for the healthcare, hotel hospitals. Yeah. So sorry about running on there. Hope it all made sense.
Well, and that's just it. If you don't fully understand it, that's completely okay, because again, at the end of the day, this is our documentation of the process we're going through. And I said back in 2018, not even a year after I started my company, on a podcast, I remember it vividly, that I said I wanted to utilize fitness to ultimately better healthcare and use healthcare to better fitness. And that's been my sort of start. My biggest dream that I have reached deep and thought, what is the absolute biggest, holy crap, that's never going to happen type thing. And I always went to a place that fitness wellness completely revolutionizes what healthcare is and benefits humans in a much broader way. And as Potter said, being in healthcare for over 13 years now, I've seen the downfalls, but I've also seen the beauties of what can happen. And I believe DeFi and crypto is such a huge key of it.
Right. So, can I expand on that? People,
please.
How is DeFi related to it? Well,
great question.
For us to have an idea that we thought, we used to have to go to a bank, right? To say, hey, can we borrow some money? Now we can go straight to people who know us and say, on a public blockchain, this is how much they contributed. This is what they took in. Here's all the information on it, forever. Yeah. But DeFi is a new way to help build these things faster with full audible transparency.
Yeah. What a perfect way to end it. If you're feeling it, let us know, because that's what we're after. And that's what we're going to do. Builders, just like us, keep building.
Keep on.
Damn.
I freaked. That's how